Maryland is not exactly known as a border state. What's the immigration problem in Maryland?
Well, certainly we're seeing the impacts that every other state is seeing in regard to the criminal element that comes from the border states, the movement of drugs, drug trafficking. We have seen human trafficking, some increases in crime when you look at it from a total public safety standpoint, along with the cost of illegal immigration to state and local governments.
What have you specifically done in Frederick County? You've been very successful.
We have. We have really made a lot of headway. We've implemented the 287G program, the Criminal Alien Enforcement Program, partnering with ICE. We've become involved in the Federal Detention Housing Program. We have also implemented Secure Communities, which is another identification process in partnership with ICE. And then most recently, we sponsored a forum for employers it's called the IMAGE program, the ICE mutual aid agreement between employers and government. And what that does, it's a voluntary program that allows employers how to learn how to identify the people that come to work for them, identify their immigration status, facilitate the E-Verify system, how to fill out the appropriate I-9 forms, recognize fraudulent documents. So as an agency, we've sponsored that to employers. It was a very good success the first time, and we're going to do it again.
We don't see this happening really in other counties or jurisdictions throughout Maryland. Do you have any idea why?
It's probably not very politically motivated. I mean, I think there's a lot of resistance to local government doing anything. This is what I really believe, is that it's easier at the local level, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's state and local governments in general. It's easier to say, listen, this is a federal problem. I say, no, it's not. I say there is a role for local law enforcement. There is a role for local government to play and a path for them to take to make it as unfriendly as we can and say, no, you are not coming into our county, into our state illegally. You don't have a home here. We're not going to be a sanctuary state.
You mentioned earlier the cost. What have you seen in terms of the cost of illegal immigration?
Well, I think you can just look across the board. Numbers that were recently put out by the Federation for American Immigration Reform show that in the state of Maryland, the cost of illegal immigration in terms of detention, K through 12 education, health care, social services, things of that nature, the cost is about $1.7 billion. That's exactly what our state deficit is. So when you look at what the cost directly attributed to that problem on both the statewide and the national scale, I say it's just a huge, huge part of the underwriting or the overriding problem of where our economy, where our budget's at all levels of government.
Arizona has been in the news, or has been, for all the fight that they've had on illegal immigration. Did you ever look at what they were doing?
I did. I looked at you're talking about in terms of the state bill 1070? Yes. Yeah. They have a much more severe problem right there. We don't necessarily have every single problem that they have, nor the magnitude of the problem, but a lot of what they've taken in that law really could be assimilated here in Maryland. We could have a statewide program that works, not verbatim based on their law, but we could have something similar that would work for law enforcement.
And finally, what do you think we ought to be doing in Maryland that we're not?
Well, just what I've been talking about here. I think it's time for our elected officials to hear what the constituents and the citizens of Maryland want of their counties, of their local governments, because by and large, they're not hearing what the people are saying. The people are frustrated, they're tired, they want enforcement, they want something done. So I say it's time for our elected officials to listen to what Americans want and do something about the problem.
Great, thank you.